All right, in this video, we are going to find the sum of the first 7 terms of these geometric sequences given over here. There's a couple of different questions. Let's take a look at the first question over here. And I have the formulas. So this is the formula for the sum of a geometric sequence, and this is just the general term for a geometric series. Going to be using these two formulas over here in these questions. Now, if I take a look at the first question, it gives me the third term is 18, and it gives me the r is equal to 3. So the r is just the multiple or the factor by which the sequence goes up by. So it's also referred to as the common ratio. So I've not given my first term in this sequence, but I know my common ratio, and I know that I'm trying to find S7, but in order to figure out my first term, I need to use the general term over here. So I'm going to use T3 in my general term formula. So T3 equals to A. I know that my common ratio is 3, and I know that my n minus 1, n is just 3 as well in this case, because it's the third term. And then I know that T3 can be replaced with 18. 18 equals to A. 3 minus 1 is 2. And then 18 equals 3 squared is just 9A, and then divide by 9 on both sides. So I get 2 equals to A. Once I find the first term, then it's pretty easy. I can just use my sum equation. So I'm trying to find the sum of the first 7 terms. Know that my first term is 2. Know that my common ratio is 3. My n is just 7. And divided by 3 minus 1. Then it's just about doing this calculation. 3 minus 1 is 2. I'll do this in the calculator. 3 to the power of 7 minus 1 is just 2186. And these two 2's just cancel. My final answer for this first question is 2186. Let's go to the second question over here, which is pretty much exactly the same as the first one. So I'm going to do this one a bit quicker. I'm going to start by using my Tn formula. So T8 equals to A. My common ratio over here is 2 over 3. And then my n in this case is 8. 8 minus 1. I can replace my T8 or my 8th term with 1024. That's given in the question. Equals to A. 2 over 3 to the power of 7. I'll do 2 over 3 to the power of 7 in my calculator. Although you could do it mentally as well. Just going to rely on my calculator here. So 1024 equals to, that's 128 over 2187 A. I'm just going to cross multiply 2187 over 2239488 equals to 128A, and then I'll divide both sides by 128 to find my A, which is 17496. Once I find my A, I can sub it in my sum equation. So S7 equals to A, which is 17496, 2 over 3 to the power of 7 minus 1 divided by 2 over 3 minus 1. And I'll rely on my calculator to do this calculation. Now the bottom is negative 1 over 3, but I'll do this in my calculator. I get negative 2059 over 2187. And then I'll do this final calculation over here. And I get 49416 as the solution to this second question. Go to the third and final question of this video, which is slightly more difficult than the other two. So in this one, I'm given my fifth term and I'm given my eighth term. So I don't really know my first term and I don't know my common ratio. When this is the case, we're going to have to use substitution to solve a question like this. Let me start using my fifth term over here in my general term equation. So T5 equals to, I don't know my A, I don't know my common ratio. I know that my N is 5 minus 1. Then I know I can replace T5 with 5. So 5 equals to A R to the power of 4. Can't solve this equation because I have two variables. So let me do the same thing for my second equation. I'll sub it in my general term. So T8 equals to A R 8 minus 1. T8 is negative 40. 8 minus 1 is 7. So now I have two equations and I have two variables I can solve using substitution or elimination. I'll just do substitution. The easiest thing to do is isolate the A over here. I'll just divide this on the other side. 5 over R to the power of 4 equals to A. And I'll sub this in over here for this A. Negative 40 equals to 5 over R4 times R7. R4 and R7 can simplify by subtracting the exponents. Negative 40 equals to 5R cubed. Divide both sides by 5. So negative 8 equals to R cubed. Now cube root both sides. And I get negative 2 equals to my common ratio. In this question, once I get my common ratio, I can sub it back here to find my first term. Oops. Negative 2 to the power of 4 is just positive 16. So once I have my A and once I have my R, my first term and my common ratio, I can then sub it into my equation. S7 just equals to A R to the power of N minus 1 divided by R minus 1. That's just negative 3 in the bottom. And this I'll do in my calculator. Get negative 129. And then I'll just do this whole calculation. And I get 215 over 16 as an exact value, or as a decimal would be 13.4 approximately. If your teacher allows decimals, it would be 13.4, but my calculator gives me an exact value of 215 over 16. If you made it to the end of this video and you found this content helpful, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.